Hey guys, it's Limbo here. I hope you guys have been doing well because I know for damn sure me and so many of my viewers and subs that have been commenting, watching my videos are all happy right now because Call of Shame has had his downfall. He has officially rebranded to cover Jesus Christ and religious content, right? He's now called, I'm not even joking when I say this, the Divine Anchor. And he already posted a video basically using the Charlie Kirk incident and the murder of Charlie Kirk to farm views and clicks and money from it. And he's trying to spread the word of God and the gospel through YouTube after building his entire channel off of calling out content creators and streamers cheating or apparently cheating and hacking within Call of Duty, while also admitting that he is homophobic, sexist, and transphobic. So yeah, I don't know what really happened, but literally all you need to do to catch up with the lore is that Karl Jobst, who is, a YouTuber that exposes people and talks about drama and stuff, he made a video talking about Call of Shame and exposing and debunking all of the Call of Shame lies and videos that he has made throughout the last couple of years about Call of Duty, about the anti-cheat, about his own claims about Guardian anti-cheat and all that stuff, and many more things as well. But all in all, Call of Shame, instead of addressing the allegations and debunking what Karl Jobst presented in his hour-long, almost 2-hour-long video, Call of Shame decided to rebrand, and the post that you guys are seeing right now, I'm pretty sure was edited over multiple times. So he went back onto this YouTube community post announcing, hey, he's rebranding the channel and covering religious, content. He remade the post and re-edited the post many times. And then he ended up making that Charlie Kirk video. And then he deleted it after like an hour or two because it didn't perform well. And he says and claims that it's a test video, which I'm going to, let the YouTube side of me come out. If you're trying to rebrand your channel and get into a new audience, a new niche, like going from Call of Duty to religious content, you post as many videos as you can, right? In order to get into that new algorithm, into that new niche, and to get that new audience. Obviously, Call of Shame, right? The group that was leading it and creating it and the guy that owns it now does not know what the fuck they're doing. But basically, what he's trying to do is he's trying to manipulate and lie to another community of the internet. Okay, he first did it with the Call of Duty community and the people that were paranoid and insecure about Call of Duty streamers and content creators that were better than the viewer, and they basically played on that fear and manipulated and lied to these players for the longest time, right? And now he's trying to do that to the religious community. And I want to make it pretty clear that a lot of us that are hating on Call of Shame are not hating him on the fact that he's creating religious content. I know that everybody's got a religious bone, right? With whatever religious, thing that they follow. But we're not hating on him because he's making religious content. We're hating on him on the fact that, like, yo, you got debunked, you got exposed, you have these allegations, and you're not even going to address them, right? And if you're saying, oh, he already made an address video, he already exposed and debunked everything that was said against him, that was 2 weeks ago. And all the stuff that Karl Jobst is talking about and made a video on that's 2 hours long, right? That's all about new stuff that Call of Shame has not responded to. So don't, if you're a Call of Shame fan or somebody that's trying to defend Call of Shame, get the fuck out of here with saying, oh, he already debunked it. No, he did not, right? There's so many posts, and I'm going to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what he's doing because literally everybody's reacting the same way. We're glad that he's going away and he's changing the content, but we just hate the fact that he's not, debunking or trying to respond to the allegations, and he's just running with his tail in between his legs, and he's not even, giving his own community, his own viewers a good response that, clears up the air. He's just leaving everybody in the dark that's a part of his community, which is so fake, that's so weird, and I cannot support that. If you were a Call of Shame fan and you felt betrayed, fooled, or just manipulated, I apologize. But hey, listen, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let me know what your guys' thoughts are on Call of Shame and his rebrand, because, dude, it's going bad, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I tweeted this out, right? I literally said that I haven't seen the Call of Duty community come together this much over one individual. I literally said the way people are reacting to Call of Shame quitting and basically being successfully canceled for all the right reasons, you would think that everybody hit their lottery ticket or hit a gamble, right? Everybody's just so happy to see the downfall of Call of Shame. And like I said earlier, it's not because we hate religion and like we hate religious content. It's more about the fact that, like, dude, this guy was such a cancer to the Call of Duty community and especially the hacker hunter community, to the point where he was the face of the community for a long time, and it made the community, specifically the Call of Duty community and the hacker hunter community, be hated and looked down upon by other gaming communities and other content creators that made gaming content. It was very hard for any Call of Duty content creator to actually start making content because of people like Call of Shame. Because if you were too good at the game or your gameplay was sus, like mine is, right? I've been getting called cheater and hacker left and right now since I've started Call of Duty content. Everybody would be discouraged and just hate Call of Duty. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just so happy to see the downfall and cancellation of Call of Shame, because dude, he's getting canceled, exposed, and debunked on all the right things from his own content and his own claims and all that stuff. Like, I heard that, and I saw a clip that he said that he worked and had a connection within the FBI of the United States of America, and that he used to work for Microsoft, and he also used to work for an anti-cheat company. And he also made claims basically saying like, yo, my Team Guardian, or, you know, Guardian anti-cheat is way better than other games' anti-cheat. So if it was that good, Call of Shame, and to his fans that believe him, why did he not sell the Call of Shame or the Guardian anti-cheat to a bigger company? He would have made a lot more money creating that anti-cheat and selling it to a studio or a game developer team than actually, you know, recycling the same kind of people and things that he were talking about in his videos, right? In Face Swag, he came out with a crazy ass claim, and I know a lot of people don't like Swag because he's a cheater and all that stuff. You know, you can think whatever you want to think. I just think Face Swag, his personality, I just don't really like. But he tweeted out this. He made 300 videos on me cheating over the course of 3.5 years to 4 years as well. The amount of hate waves he's sent my way. I'm getting drunk tonight just for bro. Not one person on this planet will miss clicking on a Call of Shame video. Oh my god. And you know, I also talked about that as well. I just replied and made a response to Modern Warzone, right, who has been covering the Call of Shame downfall and drama this entire time while at Call of Duty Next. And no matter what you think about Doug Dimano, you know, all that stuff, I asked him this. Please tell me you're talking about Call of Shame and his downfall with other creators at Call of Duty Next. Having a drink over a channel like Call of Shame must be so good. And he replied saying, oh, we are. It's great. And that's amazing to hear, because dude, no matter what you think about these Call of Duty content creators being sent to Call of Duty Next and getting invited out and working with Activision and, you know, Call of Duty themselves, dude, imagine trying to make a career or make content while also getting massive hate waves from a community that was so stuck up, you know, with, oh, you're a cheater, you're a hacker and all that stuff. I would be hating that. You know, if I had somebody that commented under my videos, every single video of mine, and say you're a cheater and hacker, I would lose my shit. When clearly I'm not. I'm just good at the, you know, Call of Duty, right? I think it's very important to call out the fact that, like, yeah, most people knew that Call of Shame and what he was posting and what he was saying was bullshit, right? It just sucks that it took this long. Like, Ender's FPS, no matter what you think about him, he literally pointed out a good point, saying, you know, Karl Jacobs finally bothered to take the time to make a 2.5 hour video debunking, exposing everything, and literally Call of Shame decides to leave immediately because he can't even defend himself that well, which is insane, dude. The amount of hate generated from Call of Shame's channel is immeasurable. And perhaps the worst thing about this is Call of Shame's channel crumbling won't stop the fact he brainwashed potentially hundreds of thousands of people, which is very true. There's gonna be a lot of people that think that anybody talking about Call of Shame in a negative light is cheating or hacking in video games, when literally people are just better than others. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, all in all, ladies and gentlemen, this Call of Shame downfall, I'm happy for it. Like, you know, my good friend Rick, who I have his phone number and all that stuff, we text here and there, he literally texted me. He was like, damn, dude, I'm so happy that, you know, this got exposed and got put out to light, because, dude, I can never, ever see myself supporting someone like Call of Shame. I was like, dude, that's awesome, right? You know, I'm so happy people like Rick, who were in support of Call of Shame, that were fans of Call of Shame, or that watched or trusted Call of Shame, are now being exposed to what Call of Shame has actually said and done, and the fact that it's all lies and, you know, all manipulation. Because, dude, Call of Shame literally had a large amount of the Call of Duty community under a chokehold. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad just so many people are opening up, man. Like Rick says, and I quote, "I feel so stupid. Used to love his content. Recently been very skeptical, but now I know for sure he's a fake," which is honestly good, dude. But yeah, like, all in all, I'm just so happy, dude. So happy that Call of Shame, someone like Call of Shame, a cancer to the Call of Duty community like Call of Shame, is gone, dude. Because at the end of the day, right? Now he's no longer slandering people's names and, you know, face for over 300 videos. Now this also opens up an opportunity for somebody honest, somebody that we can trust, to expose streamers and hackers and, you know, cheaters and all that stuff at any size. I think it's Hoppa, no matter what you think about him, on the fact that he used to cheat before, I think I'd rather trust him way more than somebody like Call of Shame, because It's Hoppa actually has connections with people that are, you know, selling cheats, that are created cheats and all that stuff, that are in that community, while also he has admitted, like, yeah, I'm never going to cheat again, and I want to expose and want to call anybody that is cheating, that is a content creator and streamer. Because at the end of the day, yes, no, you know, no matter what Call of Shame was talking about and doing, there are streamers and Call of Duty content creators that do cheat and hack, but it's not the same people like Face Swag, Joe, and, you know, Aiden and Adrian, etc., right? You know, these cheating and hacking Call of Duty content creators and streamers come in all different sizes and platforms. And I feel like It's Hoppa has been a really good source of, you know, exposing these Call of Duty content creators and streamers cheating and hacking, right? And he does it to anybody and everybody. He does not make 300 videos on the same people talking about the same thing. He talks about anybody and everybody of any size, and he exposes anybody, which is a great thing. So I hope somebody like It's Hoppa comes in and replaces Call of Shame, because, dude, the Call of Duty community has literally been shitted on because of people like Call of Shame and the content that he produces. But now that with him gone, I think Call of Duty and the Call of Duty content scene and the streaming scene will be 1,000 times better, man. If you're a Call of Shame fan that's mad about his cancellation and his shift this content and the fact that he got exposed, start making your own videos, man. Start making, you know, exposed videos on Call of Duty creators and streamers that you think are cheating and hacking, man, because we would love to see it. But yeah, I'm out this bitch. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, hype up the video, and let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And it's been your boy Limbo. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.